Actually, Fabio has been a great friend of us since many years ago. The bands were always meeting each other at the road in different cities, and Fabio came to our shows and he was always a friend. So last year we received an invitation to do the 70,000 tons of metal cruise. And at that time we didn't have a singer. So Fabio's name came to mind, and we called him and he said yes, so it worked out. And it was just a one-off show, but it worked out so well. And the chemistry was so good, both personally and musically, that we just wanted to do more. So after that we scheduled another festival in Brazil, which is the Live and Louder Festival. And from there on, we just kept going, you know, not thinking about how much it's going to last or anything. And the fit is just perfect.
Well, it's not much different actually, because of course me, Felipe, and Rafael, we've been composing for many years already. So and the band has already a concept, and of course it's good. Every new member or different person can bring different ways, different ideas. So it's good to have him. So he brought some melodies, some things that we couldn't do it. Just a different person always brings something different. So. But the concept of the band is already pretty much established for like this more than 20 years composing for Angra. So the trick is to find a good balance between this concept is already there and the fresh and new thing for the future.
We did most of it without him because we started writing in November. Me, Kiko, and Rafa mainly, and then Fabio joined us for some days during this process. And then afterwards came Bruno, but he came with a very strong personality and language that of course influences the music. So the arrangements have been changed to accommodate some of his playing style, and of course he brought new ideas as well. But the core of the songs were already done when he came in. And you know a funny fact? Bruno and Eloy, they were friends at school. They have the same age average, right? They were friends at school, like really young, since forever, and they grew up together as drummers, of course with different teachers, different backgrounds, but they were always friends. Same drum teacher. Yeah.
Well, that's like a fourth concert for Bruno, so we like understanding each other and developing this. Probably it's gonna always brings new fresh air, when have somebody new playing with us, and maybe because they're much younger than us. We don't know. Let's see how it goes. But the idea is to change. Yeah, the idea is like to bring new elements in all senses, like a new producer, new environment, and then write a new chapter from now on.
Yeah, and especially be out of the comfort zone. Because when you work with the same people for so many years, it's easy to be stuck in a comfort zone that works, but we just wanted to experiment more. And having Jens, which is one of the most respected producers nowadays for heavy music, we think he'll have a big input in the sound.
Yeah, I have many ideas. We have like a proper idea for that, but it's still developing, so we're not pretty much talking about it now. So. When you have like 100%, it's better so you have a better way to explain.
There's no shortage of events in the story of this band, but we're always influenced by whatever is surrounding us at the time of the writing, what we're listening to, what we're living in our personal lives. So every record, in a sense, is a picture of what you're living in that time. And now having Fabio, having Bruno, great expectation for the future, great motivation. I think this all translates into the music. That's what I hope.
There's some in the songs. Sometimes very easy to recognize them. Sometimes, not disguised in other, in between heavy guitars. But we always write thinking about the grooves and Brazilian influenced elements. Always, every song. Yeah, well, let's see, you never know. It's easy to put a lot of Brazilian elements, to be honest. It's not too complicated, but sometimes you just don't want to do it like a lot. It sounds for us at least, sounds too much. Anyway.
Yeah, you don't want to sound cliche with your own stuff, like copying your own ideas or making it very evident just so everyone notices, but you don't believe in what you're doing musically. So it has to be a fit that is natural with the heavy music, which is always what we search to do.
Yeah, we decided because of his general sound and production sound, yeah, drums and guitars and everything. Yeah. So no, we had a friend of ours, Roy Z, very well-known producer, and he was with us for 1 week, listening to the songs we did and commenting and working with us on some stuff. So we have the luxury of having Roy Z and Jens helping to produce this album. Yeah, we have some. We've been doing less and less every time, like comparing to the first album. The first album we were using all these classical themes and well-known themes like Vivaldi or Paganini, and using the elements or sometimes even the melodies in the solo part in the songs. Then we stopped doing that actually and started to create our own classical and symphonic ideas. So we're gonna have some of this, but not as much as we had in the in the first album, for instance, like Angel's Cry.
We do compose the main stuff, and we always have some skilled keyboard players to help us find the sounds, mainly, because nowadays it's very easy to just program everything, but you need a real keyboard player to find the right expression, the right sound, the right part. So that's what we need a keyboard player for.
Yeah.
But the main themes are already composed. When we do the song, we already think about them. Then we go to the computers and program this stuff. So that's how we do it.
But we always do first, and then we have some people that we are already in touch to do this, like for finding the sounds and stuff. But we first do ourselves. No, that's a local. I use the Laney amp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I use Epiphanies. It's not always easy to travel with your own equipment or having it delivered to every show, especially when you're not on a full tour, which is the case now. It's just 4 shows, so we don't have like the whole crew and backline traveling with us, so the equipment here is all local.
Yeah, sometimes like yeah, in France the Laney people they send the amps, but not here tonight. So then we have the local rent.
For me personally, there's a brand called Dark Glass Electronics. They make, in my opinion, the best bass distortions in the market. They have a line of pedals that is being used by Alex Webster, Tony Levin, Dirk from Meshuggah. I mean, every heavy bass player is using these pedals, and I'm pretty sure we're going to try it in the studio, and I'm hopeful that they'll make it, because in terms of bass distortion, that's the thing.
Yeah, I have my new Ibanez guitar, Kiko 100, so that's the main guitar for the album.
Yeah, I have a Yamaha, especially for me too, which is based on the ABS 9020. And I got this GraphTech acoustic pickup, and it's very cool to combine it with other sound. It's a totally different kind of output. And I also love using the Boss GT100, the pedal, the multi-effect. It's got great amplifier simulators. That's basically.
I am an analog guy. I like the pedals, I like the tubes. I use the digital power amps on the amps, because in my case, all the grit that I need comes from the pedals and the preamps. So the amp is very clean and very hi-fi. But I'm all analog when it comes to pedals. And of course you have the digital as a tool. For example, I have a pedal from Zoom called the MB60, which is like 60 pedals in one. So if I'm on a gig and I need, say, a filter, I have it there, I have a different preamp, I have it there, octave, whatever. Yeah, it's really convenient. But the sound really comes from the analog pedals.
Okay. Yeah, me too. I have the Zoom equipment, G1, K, or pedals like that for many different situations, like traveling or a small rehearsal or a small gig. But normally in studio or in a live situation, I'm very minimal with pedals. So I use the distortion from the Laney VH100 and maybe one delay booster.
I like hybrid systems. I think analog sound is always something warmer in an overall picture better. It's more related to the traditional sound that we used to listen from Zeppelin, Purple. The classic comes from analog. But combining two worlds is cool. Like the Boss GT 100's got a nice feature where I can use the sound from the tube and have effects on the loop of the amp, and also can control the switch. I can switch from channel to channel of the amp from the Boss GT 100. So it's nowadays I have a hybrid system.
I was trying to find a combination of the modern touch of Ibanez that everybody knows, you know, like for the jam guitar from C5, and with the mixing with the traditional shapes and wood. So like the neck's a bit rounder. It's not as round as the Satriani model, but it's not as thin as the jam. So it's very comfortable for the tapping, all the modern techniques, and if you want to play fusion or want to play something more traditional, it works pretty well too. And the same goes for the wood, all the wood, and the pickup from the DiMarzio was specially designed for that kind of sound that you can go from fusion to some more metal or extreme music. So it's basically this trying to find a good combination between.
There's also the body thickness that is different.
Yeah, so it's like more traditional, thicker than the S, because the S model, this model is like very thin. So this one is thicker with outer, so it brings more this traditional sound, and yeah, it's more crispy, somehow more strat-like, and but it's very comfortable to do the modern stuff. So you can really play the fusion, you know, or when I do my guitar solo work, and if I play with Angra, some heavier stuff, it works pretty well. Yeah, this is scallop.
Yeah.
Also, it's easier to play. No, it's from here. No. Yeah. 19. Just here, just the very end. So just to easier to do the vibratos and the bands. Yeah.
He has a ton of gear, and we're just eager to go there and try everything and see how it sounds.
Now always open. Yeah, I have always to go to the studio open, you know, to try everything, spend some time trying everything.
And there is a very important factor that most people maybe don't realize, that playing by yourself is different than playing with a band. And it's much worse when it's a record, because what you do has to sound good, but it also has to fit what the band is doing. So the producer is able to have an overall picture of what your sound should be, so that it fits together with everything else in the band. And in that sense, maybe you play by yourself in a very nice amp, a very nice setup, but it's just not the right thing for the record. So you have to be open.
Now we're doing like a celebration of all this 20 years, so we're playing all the... In the end, we're playing like different songs from different albums. Before, I don't know now in the set list, but was like more songs from the Angels Cry period, and some other ones. But in the end, we kept changing, so now I think it's pretty much balanced.
Yeah, when it started out, when we did the DVD, it was much more Angels Cry. But now it's just all mixed.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. Actually, we did, in the DVD, we had our guest, Tyler Turner, to sing with us. Yeah.
I love a state called Mato Grosso and Mato Grosso do Sul. There are two states. And there's beautiful nature. It's a place called the Pantanal, which tons of rivers and natural life. And I just love going there. And I used to go there many years ago to fish and just to be around nature. It's lovely.
Yeah. You guys have any tip?
I go to the basic. We have almost 6,000 kilometers of shore, beaches, and different kind of beaches. They're all to the Atlantic Ocean, but we have different formations, different kind of sand, different kind of rocks. all kind of formation, geological formations, and very, very beautiful sites, very beautiful places to visit in the shore.
There's one band called Project 46 that is getting more and more known in Brazil that you should check out. It's thrash metal, very well done, singing Portuguese.
Yes.
There are many good bands in Brazil, like Shadowside. They've been here as an open act for Halloween, and Hybria is a big band in Brazil. Mindflow is a big band in Brazil. We have old bands also like Cortas, Torture Squad, and we have a very nice thrash metal scene in Brazil. Many good.
Command 6.
Command 6, yeah, it's a big band from Brazil. Mindflow is a good band, I don't know if I mentioned.
Okay.
Then you have the great musicians from Brazil that everybody should check out, like Yamando Costa or like Lenini, or does pop, rock, pop music, but a lot of Brazilian instruments. I would recommend that.
Yeah, I recommend also Marisa Monte. It's a Brazilian singer, combining the traditional Brazilian music into pop music, into world kinetic kind of stuff, which is very cool too.
Cell, C-E-U. It's a girl, it's a singer, but you know she just recorded